Starting a new diet is a lot like installing a new operating system for your life. You are sweeping away your daily routines, rebuilding your grocery lists, and establishing a strict new set of rules for how you operate. If you are trying to optimize your nutrition, perfection isn't the goal. The reality is that you are simply choosing a set of rules. The trick is finding the rule set that aligns with your personal health targets and, more importantly, your tolerance for friction. Right now, 3 strategies dominate the conversation: keto, vegan, and paleo. They all promise better health, but the biological and practical mechanisms they use to get you there are completely different. This matrix compares their goals and restrictions. Keto targets fat burn through high restriction, cutting almost all carbohydrates. Vegan targets plant health with moderate high restriction, stripping out animal products. Paleo returns to whole foods, carrying moderate high restriction by eliminating processed foods, grains, and legumes. The dilemma you face is navigating the massive gap between the hyped promises of these strategies and the actual daily sacrifices they demand. You cannot select the right path until you identify which specific type of restriction, macros, animal sources, or processed foods, you are actually capable of sustaining. Keto requires you to change your body's primary fuel source. You stop giving it easy carbohydrates and force it to burn heavy fats instead. Your daily inputs become heavily reliant on meat, fish, cheese, butter, and oils. Bread, rice, pasta, and even most fruits are completely off the table. By depriving your system of carbs, you enter a metabolic state called ketosis. For some people, this triggers rapid fat loss, reduced appetite, and highly stabilized blood sugar. But this chart maps out the hidden costs of that process. We are looking at the upfront effort required on the horizontal axis versus long-term sustainability on the vertical axis. That initial metabolic switch comes with an adaptation phase known as the keto flu. Combine that physical sluggishness with a chronic lack of dietary fiber from giving up grains and fruits, and keto lands squarely in the high-effort sector. The sustainability takes a hit when we factor in social friction. Trying to maintain strict macro ratios at a restaurant or a normal dinner party is incredibly difficult. You are trading long-term convenience and social ease for a rapid, aggressive shift in your metabolism. The vegan diet operates entirely differently. It ignores macronutrient ratios and sets strict boundaries on the source of the food itself. This requires the total elimination of meat, fish, eggs, and dairy. You rely exclusively on fruits, vegetables, whole grains, beans, and lentils. Because you are eating plants, your daily fiber intake skyrockets. This provides strong support for heart health, while directly aligning your consumption with ethical and environmental priorities. Looking back at our chart mapping effort against sustainability, we have to account for the specific costs of removing all animal products from a human diet. Plants contain plenty of nutrients, but they suffer from lower bioavailability. That means the vitamins and minerals are often harder for your body to absorb compared to animal sources, pushing the upfront effort higher. If you do not meticulously plan your meals to account for this, you risk serious deficiencies in vitamin B12, iron, omega-3 fats, and protein. A vegan diet trades nutritional convenience for ethical alignment. It demands a daily, calculated commitment to meal planning to prevent health risks. Paleo contrasts with both of those strategies by looking backward. It attempts to mimic historical hunter-gatherer eating rules from before the rise of modern agriculture. The rules are simple but strict. You eat whole meats, fish, fresh produce, nuts, and natural oils. You eliminate all refined sugar, processed foods, grains, dairy, and legumes. By default, this strips all highly processed junk food out of your life. The heavy reliance on whole proteins and natural fats also naturally improves satiety, keeping you feeling full without forcing you to count calories. But this chart shows the frustrating contradictions built directly into the paleo rule set. Relying exclusively on high-quality meats, raw nuts, and fresh produce is incredibly expensive, adding a massive layer of financial friction to your weekly grocery bill. To maintain historical accuracy, the diet forces you to throw out some of the most nutritious, budget-friendly staples available today, like beans, lentils, and whole grains. Paleo trades away your budget and accessible pantry staples in exchange for a hyper-clean, zero-processed food baseline. There is no biological magic bullet here. Success depends entirely on matching the right strategy to the specific realities of your life. This flowchart breaks down the final decision. Instead of starting with the food, we have to start with your primary driver. If your goal is rapid fat loss and blood sugar control, and you possess high daily discipline, your path leads to keto. Avoid this path if you want fruit, struggle with heavy fats, or rely on eating out. If your choices are driven by ethical alignment, environmental values, and long-term heart health, your path leads to a vegan diet. Stay away from this option if you want a thoughtless, low-effort meal prep routine. Without proper tracking, you will develop nutritional deficiencies. If you simply want to establish a clean, whole food baseline and cut out junk without tracking macronutrients, your path leads to paleo. Steer clear of this rule set if you are on a tight budget, or rely on cheap, healthy staples like rice and lentils. The true metric of sustainability isn't an abstract health score. It is exactly how many consecutive days you can tolerate a diet's specific friction before you give up. Don't choose the diet with the flashiest marketing. Choose the diet where the lifestyle cost is a price you are actually willing to pay every single day.